what I wanted to ask you about, and you've done thousands of regressions over the years, did you develop your own technique or refine your own technique of hypnosis or hypnotherapy, as some like to
Yes,
now call it?
I did basically. I had been trained for 5 years in the 1980s to do past life regression therapy.
Yeah.
And it was really done as a therapy. I was already a licensed therapist doing regular therapy. And so that training was great because it meant that I was learning to do regressions actually for any purpose, although we were mostly concentrating on past lives. This is with a group that was called the Association for Past Life Research and Therapies, and a wonderful group. And so I had two training modules, a week long each time for 5 years. And then in the very last module of training, there wasn't any higher level that they offered. In that last module of training, at the very beginning of that training session, the trainer said to us, those of us who are doing past life regressions might find sometime that somebody would come to you who's had a different kind of experience, that they've had very unusual beings visit them and maybe take them away for a while. And these beings are not human beings, and they might be very confused or even traumatized. Well, you see, at that point, that was 1988. And I had, of course, seen movies like E.T. and
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the
Yes.
Third Kind, both of which I had just loved. But I thought it was all science fiction. I
As
didn't
most
think that there
people
was such
do, even,
you
I mean, obviously in this
even
community,
now.
people have don't, but in the mainstream anyway, they have to this point.
Yes, even now
Mm.
at this advanced time of 2023. But so uh, but from what she said, I could kind of gather that she was talking about beings from somewhere else in space, and taking them away might be one of those UFOs that I had thought were fictional. But anyway, that after she said that, I was really surprised, but even more surprised that I heard a big voice in my head saying emphatically, pay attention to this, Barbara. You will be doing this. Woo! So I was just flabbergasted.
That would have woke you
uh,
up, right? In the moment.
yeah, that apparently that stuff about UFOs and ETs is real, and I will be working with that. Well, that inspired me to learn more about that, to learn if I thought it was really true that there are these UFO crafts and these other beings from elsewhere in the universe. And so for 3 years, I went to a lot of bookstores looking for information and magazine shops, because some magazines had articles. There was a magazine called Omni Magazine, and every month I discovered they had one page about what they called alien abductions.
Uh,
Woo! So I became aware of Whitley Strieber's book, of course, and and heard Whitley Strieber speak, and Bud Hopkins and David Jacobs. They would be speakers at the Whole Life forums that I was very accustomed to going to anyway. And so I developed more of a sense that, okay, I guess even though I haven't known about this before, it seems to be a real phenomenon going on. So then one day, 3 years after hearing that voice in my head, I was in the shower, just that nice free thought time, and thought about this subject and decided, if anybody would ever come to me, I don't think they will, but if anybody ever does come to me for this reason, to find out in a regression about their mysterious experiences, I think I could handle it because I've done years of past life regressions so far and feel very competent now in doing that. I could use the same methods. So basically, that's how I got into it. And I never did have training with Dolores, but from her regressions that she did on me, I would say that our whole method is very, very much alike.
Yeah, that's what
Without
I
my
wanted to
having.
ask, because as QHHT is spread around the world, and many people from every country are level 1 or level 2 or many level 3 now. And I
Yes,
wanted to see how your method and hers are similar.
right. Well, I think they're extremely similar, although she may emphasize more going into that very, very deepest part possible of the mind.
Which is the
Uh,
sambulistic state of trance. She always said it's
yeah.
where all the weird stuff happens, where the strange things happen. And she loved to go to that place where a lot of people wouldn't want to tread in that territory, particularly
That's right.
mainstream. Yeah.
So I think that she did more of that level than I tend to do. But the level that I have people go to is wonderfully sufficient for getting the details of the experiences that they have had.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think Dolores, as she has publicly said um, in many of her lectures and interviews, that she is really an investigator and has a tremendous curiosity. So she's going more for information, and I, as a therapist, am aiming more at the therapeutic use
Sure.
of the hypnosis process.
Yeah.
So I think there's just a slight difference there.
Yeah.
But I think that our methods are very similar, judging from the way that she regrets me.
Mm.
And
Have
I'm
you ever
thinking,
taught,
well,
like she did, your method to other people? Has anyone come along and taken the method you've developed and practiced that as a practitioner?
yes. Well, back when I was still very much associated with the Association for Past Life Research and Therapies. And so we're talking about the early years of the 1990s now.
Mm.
I was teaching, I had training modules through them. And then there was another group called the International Board of Regression Therapy. And I did one or two, I think, training courses for them. And then I actually, in my own home, had 2 or 3, like a long weekend of training for people who already were skilled in hypnosis, maybe not in regression work, but at least in hypnosis. I made that a requirement that I wasn't going to be taking time to teach some basic hypnosis techniques. So I have had a few of those, and right now there's a group in San Diego that would like me to form another group, but I haven't done it because I just haven't found the time
Yeah.
to do, to organize it and actually give a few days to doing it
Yeah.
because I'm still very, very busy
Because you're seeing a
doing
lot
the
of
regression.
one-on-one, aren't you? I mean, just to give the audience an idea, I mean, how many clients would you say, for instance, in 1 week? And how long do the regressions go for each one?
Oh, yeah. Well, each regression session, the whole session, usually lasts 3 to 4 hours.
Well, same
And
as QHHT. Yeah, wow.
longer. Yeah. So, in other words, the regression itself might take between 1 to 1.5 hours, maybe even 2 at the most. But you see, I usually see a person one time. In other words, it's not like my regular counseling that I did since 1976, where a counseling client would come, 1 week after the other over a period of time. But in this work, the regression work, I usually see a person just one time only. So it's a whole new person for me, and I'm a new person for that person. And so if they have come, um, let's say, for finding out about, have they really been abducted? They've had clues and wondered if they had. And so we will talk about all the things that happened, like it might be UFO sightings, might be a close sighting, it might be having awakened in the night and with beings in the room, or unusual light coming in the room, and then they're not conscious. Um, so anyway, there are many, many beginnings of these experiences that people have had, and they're not sure if a whole experience happened or not, because they're made to be not consciously aware of it. So, so we usually will take, or could be a good hour or even more sometimes, to talk about all these things that the person has been wondering about, or it might be that they have been doing a certain kind of work for a few decades, but now they're really wondering what their true purpose is in life. And
Yes.
in that case, we would do, I could still call it a regression, but it's really tapping into their own higher self, their own soul, to get that kind of deep information
Yeah.
um, about what they had decided to come into this lifetime to achieve, what their basic life work would be.
Mm.
And I'm very happy about that, actually, because it means that more people are sort of waking up and wondering, okay, not only, gee, what's this all about? Why am I here? But I feel like I have a special something, a special service I should be doing. And I want to get clarity about what that is. So probably every fourth or fifth person now who comes to me wants to know that. And we will do a regression of that sort. And they always have gotten wonderful clarity and affirmation from their own soul about what they're supposed to be doing. In some cases, they're already doing it, and they get validation from that
It's like
higher part of.
confirmation, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
often people are like, well, maybe it's just me communicating when I'm in hypnosis, because I'm sure that you find that most people on some level remember the information. Is it unusual for you to see that people just don't remember anything when they come out of that state?
Oh, no, they usually remember quite a lot.
Yeah.
However, I think it's always a good idea, and I encourage them to record it. So, in other
Yes.
words, if they are here having the regression with me in person, I have them record it on their cell phone,
Yeah.
because I think, they would do very well to listen to it later. Because they will remember a lot of it, maybe most of it, but they might miss some important details
Mm,
that they'll pick up when they listen to it again.
mm.
And if we do it on Zoom or Skype,
Yeah.
which many people do
Well,
with me.
particularly
So
these days, and after what we've gone through, I'm sure you are doing
yes,
more and more of that.
yes, more people have been comfortable using Zoom and Skype and
Yeah.
FaceTime as well. So we do regressions that way, and then they can do the recording right there on those formats. So that, and listen to that again if they want to. So that's very helpful. Yes, I definitely encourage
Wow.
that.
I would
Right.
imagine that you have quite a wait list of people that want to see you for a session.
I have on my emails, I'm embarrassed to say, but I must have 80, 90, or 100 emails that I haven't even
Wow.
answered yet.
Mm.
Um, I mean, where I can find them, and I keep a list of the more recent one, just the last month and a half or so. Uh, and I try to find time, although I'm very busy doing these regressions and, of course, living life.
Yes.
And oh, even living life takes time, meals and washing, dressing, etc.,
Yeah, that's
groceries,
yeah.
but um, so yeah, well, in that sense, I do have a long waiting list, and
Mm.
I try to at least answer one of those every evening,
Yeah.
but I'm still getting behind because
Catching.
every day there's one or two or three new email requests that have come in.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm very sorry about that. I'm trying to get more organized. Also, when I answer one of those requests, I like to at least sort of acknowledge the type of thing that they have said and the type of thing that they're interested in, rather than just a, sort of a stamped form letter that doesn't take that person into account. So it takes a little bit longer to personalize it and then tell them, how we could do it in person or Zoom or type or Skype or FaceTime, and the fee and how they would pay that fee if they do an online session, and, and how to contact me further by text in a cell phone. It's a better way because I check those you know, quite often every day, whereas
Mm.
emails sometimes I don't even have time to get to
Yeah.
answer the
Of
day's
course.
email. And uh, so text is better. We can proceed faster to set it up. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, it's just such wonderful work, and I am so
Incredible.
very pleased and grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. And of course, it's very interesting.
It's beautiful what you've done, and I'm guessing it's a 40 year career um to this. I
Oh,
mean, how long have you been doing this for in totality?
well, yeah, I was licensed as a therapist in 1976, so that's quite a while back. And then got into the regression work, the
Mm.
past life regression work in 1984. And then I've been working with experiencers of
Mm.
extraterrestrial contact since 1991.
Wow. So
And
over 40 years. Do you,
yeah,
and this is a bit of a personal question, do you plan on retiring one day, or do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your days here on this planet anyway?
that's what I see, that
Mm.
I'll just keep going as long as I
Yes.
can. I know in terms of the crop circle phenomenon, I was personally involved in going to England for crop circles every summer for 27 years.
Wow. Wow.
And as the years were going on, and people would say, "Wow, you've been at this a long time, and how long are you going to keep doing this?" And
Yes.
I would, uh, I'll just keep doing it as long as I am physically able to.
Able to. Well, are you still
Yeah.
traveling? And I know you've given many lectures around the world, and with Dolores's, you were talking about earlier conference there in Ozark. in the United Kingdom. I don't know if you've ever come down here to Australia and given a lecture or
Oh,
visited.
no, I have visited, but I have never given a lecture there.
Wow.
Yeah. So at the current time, um, I am not doing nearly as much traveling because I have an arthritic hip and
Okay. And that
some
slows,
complications.
it makes it, yeah.
Yes,
It,
makes it more difficult. I can travel, but with the plane, well,
yeah,
when COVID started, that's when I stopped
of course,
flying. I might
as
be
so
able to
many
fly
people
again.
did. Are you still
Yeah.
doing any of the lectures? Say, for instance, this year, will you be doing any lectures across the United States?
Well, I will be speaking in April at a Portal to Ascension conference, and that will be right here in San Diego, where I live. So
Wow.
that's very convenient.
And that's in April.
I'm
What date is that, by the way, just so our audience can know if
yeah,
they can get.
April 22nd, 23rd, 24th,
Hmm,
and there will be a lot of speakers about various aspects of higher consciousness,
amazing.
and there'll be some ascension and about the extraterrestrial phenomenon, which I will be speaking about, and many other subjects that people interested in those kinds of things will find very enlightening, I think. And
Incredible.
yes, and then I was asked to speak at one in Indianapolis, but I decided that the plane travel
Mm,
and all of that, it would be a little dodgy
of
for
course.
me with the hip situation. And
Mm,
I was invited to speak in a conference in Turkey,
wow.
Istanbul, and I turned that down because of
Yeah.
even longer travel, more change
Mm,
of planes and so forth. So that's too bad. But I have been to Istanbul, so I'm not
mm.
going to regret
Yeah. Oh, I
going there
understand. Well, let me
already. There.
we'll probably end the interview here and I'll just do an outro, but I wanted to just sort of run some things by you personally. I have this incredible sense of doing what I can do media wise to really, archive your life's work and to
Hmm.
make sure that your message is heard well and clear for the rest of the time you're here. And I really feel the sense to do this with you. And I hope that you feel comfortable enough to allow that to evolve into however that looks. But one thing I would
Yeah.
like to ask you is, I have a media team now and it's recently been formed where I have camera people and a bit of a media team. And I would want to see if you could take some time, maybe in April, for me to come out there to where you are and do an in-person interview with you and record with you a little bit of the information.
You mean come to Australia?
No, for me to come to
Oh,
San Diego in April and maybe around the time of the conference, because we could get some really
ah,
good interview material with you if you would be interested.
okay. Yes, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
I would welcome your being here.
And I know that a friend of mine, Ruben Langdon, I know he did that with you. And it was actually one of the videos with his permission that I used. I spoke to him about, I asked him if I could use some of that footage that I believe that was filmed in your home. And
Yeah.
that was really resonated with my audience. So my audience already knows a lot
Ah,
about your work, but I would like to give them a lot more information about you
okay.
because they are very interested in your career, in your work, what you do. And I think that it would be a great honor for me to be able to help you in that way, as I've been doing,
Oh,
with sharing your
lovely.
content.
Well, that's a wonderful offer. I appreciate it.
No,
Yes, that's lovely.
it's my absolute pleasure. And I love the synchronicity between what we've been already doing for Dolores Cannon, and I meet Julia Cannon once a month, and we do a similar type of interview. And I
Oh,
just
good.
get a real strong sense to really help you with the media side of getting your information to a larger audience of people.
Oh, well, that's great because I am very technically
Yeah.
deficient.
Uh,
I
well,
call
I think
myself
you do wonderfully for, but you know, the fact that you're on Zoom, even my mother can't, she's not very technical. So I think you're doing better than you think.
I always refer to myself as low tech, and
Yes.
yet I have three children who all, oh, they're just whizzing away on the computer,
Yeah.
and I mean, anything that needs to be done, well, look it up, mom, you know. And then I have three uh, grandchildren. I mean, yeah, and they're all very
Beautiful.
tech savvy. Two of them
Yeah.
are full-time employed in the technological business.
Oh, wow.
So they do completely on the computer, and they're
Oh,
designing
incredible.
software and different programs
Oh,
and everything.
incredible.
That's their work is, but they're
Oh,
very busy doing it.
I
So
bet.
I would ask them, or I ask them, and it'll be days before they'll get back to me.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
do you have any
yeah.
help at all? I know you said so you don't have a PA or anyone that helps you with anything, well, you know, you're emailing or so you're literally doing everything on your own at the moment.
Yes, I am, but I do have a young woman who um, has offered to help, and I just haven't really pinned that down with
Yeah.
her. Um, and that you're reminding me by asking that
Yeah.
to get in touch with her again. I think she would like to. I just have no idea what to offer to pay for that sort of
Yeah.
thing, but she could definitely help me catch up on all of those
Yeah,
emails.
look, I would highly recommend, you know, because I'm running my own company doing what I'm doing, and I've got a woman working for me and various people. And what it does is it just frees your mental capacity up a lot, and you don't have to really think about it. I think that would be really helpful. I think generally you could, certainly if she's offered that to you, I think she would be very reasonable around, you know, a financial arrangement for that. So, look, I
Uh-huh.
think it would be a very wise move for you to do that because it's going to really help you, particularly with this year. Because I get a sense, look, with me sharing a lot of the content across the channels, I can predict that you will be a lot more well known than you were before, and you're probably going to get more emails, I would imagine,
Yeah,
if you haven't
I get
already,
really
because
behind.
I'll be
Yeah.
certainly promoting your website as I've been doing, and so you'll get a lot more people. Um, but what would be wonderful, I mean, if you're open to it, I would love, and I can speak to the conference organizers, if we were able to get our crew in to film a lot of your presentation work at the conference, as well as doing some personal interviews around that time in April. That would be wonderful if we can do that. And obviously, you can get an idea of how I work by my interview style,
Right.
and obviously I'm one of Dolores Cannon's practitioners, so it's very aligned, I think,
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are you doing much regression work then?
Look,
Or
yeah, look, I do about 1 day a week, but because I've gotten so busy with what we're doing now, it's just getting very, very hard for me to do it. I've got Wednesday is my day of doing it, and it's Wednesday here in Australia. So after we have a session today, I have
oh,
a regression client, but I'm doing it
oh,
less and less actually. Um,
uh-huh.
but I tell you what, I would love it, even if what we could potentially do, and I'm just floating out ideas, even if you are comfortable enough, we could even do a regression with me and then have the film crew film it so people can actually see you practicing on somebody. That would be
Oh,
incredible to
okay.
document that. I mean, it doesn't have to be me, it
Yeah.
can be somebody else, but I just think to because I've done a lot of research into, and I feel that um there's not enough content for people to find to get to know you and see you, particularly in a professional format that's being properly filmed, and I think that's important. as a part of
I
your
think
work?
the only regression, well, there are two regressions I'm aware of that were filmed. One was Ruben Langdon's
Yeah.
when I regressed him. And then another one was for the Gaia
Yes. Yeah.
network.
Yeah.
They about a year or maybe 2 years ago now, they had me regress Michael Jaco about the secret space program
Yes.
involvement that he
Yeah.
had. And so, but still, it was mostly focused on the information
Mm.
coming from him,
Yeah.
rather
Look,
than
I get a real
regression.
I get a real sense because, as you asked the question earlier, Dolores continues her work to this day through
Yeah.
various people, myself and others. There's a team,
Yeah.
and I'm getting a strong, like and I know it's probably her energy. She's getting me to push you out now. So that's just a little.
Oh,
I'm sure you'll get confirmation of that in various ways because that's how they
yeah.
work. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited about that
Oh, I'm
connection.
excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me feel very happy.
Yeah, no, I
And
think you deserve. I think, I honor you for such a long and dedicated career, and I think you've certainly earned that more than anybody else to really have, because it was the same with Dolores, right? Dolores had this 45-year career developing the technique, but it wasn't even until after she passed away that she really started to get the big views on everything. That the conferences and
uh,
everything were pretty small in the beginning.
uh-huh. Yeah. Well, and I've always had the feeling that her family helped her a tremendous amount. I mean, they published
Absolute.
the and
Yeah.
Julia was usually at the conference
Yeah.
where I would see Dolores.
Yeah.
And the daughters made all of the arrangements and all the correspondence set up, the hotels, the plane trips, the
Mm,
taxis, everything.
yeah.
And of course, which was wonderful, wonderful involvement. And then, I mean, I've always had to do all of that for myself.
Yeah,
And
and it can be really challenging, I know, for that. Well, look, I certainly want to help you with a lot of the media stuff. One thing that I was just thinking of then when you were saying that is, would you by any chance and be comfortable with me sharing? Because I think people would really enjoy it, particularly in this interview, we've covered it. Would you have a photo of you and Dolores that you would be happy for people to see, maybe as a cutaway from the interview? Just so they can see the personal connection that you had?
I don't recall a picture of the two of us together, unfortunately.
That's okay. I thought
I
I'd ask the question. It's no, I just thought I'd ask the question because sometimes you
uh,
try to find this online and it's hard to find certain things.
oh yes, well, at the conferences, so often at the banquets, especially,
Mm.
people who like each other make a point of having their picture
Yeah.
taken
Of
together.
course.
I
Well, yeah,
I
Dolores
don't,
didn't like her photo taken.
but
No.
I don't recall having had ours taken. And I changed computers about a year ago, and my picture gallery from many, many years, all of those conferences, is in my other computer that I'm
Oh,
not using, but I still have it. But
okay.
yeah, I'm not, well,
Oh, look,
I could
I
look
don't want
back.
to, I don't want to burden your workflow any more than it is. But I just thought if it was something easy to access, I thought I'd ask the question. But that's fine. That's fine. People,
Yeah,
I think there's video footage actually of the two of you on a panel together that I recall at one. It
oh,
must have been one of the conferences. I think you were both on a panel, or there was something. I think, yeah,
yeah, that's very possible.
yeah,
I don't specifically remember, but I've been on lots of conference panels,
yeah.
and I'm sure she has too. So
Was
it's and we uh a number of times were speakers at the same conference.
egg.
So
Yeah,
you know, probably work
absolutely.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, look, for ease of communication, I'll give you if you're comfortable sharing your cell phone number, if it's easy to communicate that
Yes.
way, just as we're
Yes.
orchestrating stuff,
Remember.
if we can do that via email, and it'll just be easier, so there's no kind of too much of a delay of you going through emails. It might just be easier, and I'll certainly start to put this content out. And if you could let me maybe know just the details of that conference, so I can do a bit more investigation as to speaking to the organizer, seeing if camera crew would be okay to get in, and just sort of going from there, and we can just discuss the
Okay.
details
Well,
as comes about.
let's do that now. The
Yeah, let
conference.
me write that down. So, yeah,
You look at the website of Portal
portal, yeah,
to Ascension,
ascension, yeah,
right? And then the convener is a man named Neil Gower, Gaur,
you are, yep, mm-hmm.
and I'm looking for his email. Oh dear.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be able to find that information. That
Yeah.
that won't be
Yeah.
such an issue. I mean, look, if you speak to them in the meantime, maybe just mention that you've got some people documenting your work, and maybe they want to just, I mean, but I don't think they'll have an issue with that anyway. Generally, they have media passes for conferences anyway. So that generally
Yeah.
there's no issues with that. And you're in San Diego, aren't you? Is that is
Right.
that so you're, and that's close to where the conference is being held?
Yes, it's in San Diego, right on the shore,
Great.
right on the bay or something. Not on the ocean, I think it's on the bay. Um, and I'm sorry, I cannot offer to have you stay here.
Oh no,
That
that
would be
is,
a nice thing,
yeah, no, that's
but
fine. I mean, yeah, no,
I moved to
yeah, no,
I
that
have a
is,
very small condo,
oh, that is
and I don't
very,
have anything
oh, that
other
is
than
very,
me to.
no, it's very kind offer, but certainly I'll be close by, and I would love to just get some time with you to do and have the cameras there, and just, get to do, a personal side of you as well, because I think that's important for people to see the person behind, as well, if you're
Okay,
comfortable with showing some of, you know
sure.
maybe walking and talking, and there's lots that we can do media wise to sort of get you out. And if it's another personal question, but is your husband, is he still with us, or did he pass on
Well, he passed on about 8 years ago,
about 8 years ago?
so
Okay, so
so
you're,
I'm on my own.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, but you've got a beautiful family by the sound of it, and three grandkids. I
Yeah.
think yeah, and
Yes. Oh,
three
yeah.
children.
They're 3 children. Yeah, they're all in their 50s.
Hmm.
One of them just turned 60,
Oh
and
wow.
then their children are grown up. So I have
Wow.
grandchildren, but no great grandchildren yet. But that's
On the
coming
way.
along.
Well, I had a
They're
grandmother.
too.
I had a great grandmother that died at 100, and she had this thing. She always said that I'm going to live long enough to get a letter from the Queen. That was her life's goal. And she
Oh,
absolutely got that. And then 1 month after she turned 100, she got the letter from the Queen. And then
oh,
she passed 1 month after. But
oh.
I think,
She had
Dolores
fulfilled.
always said, yeah, Dolores always said this, that, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't get sick, and you go until you're meant to not be doing it anymore. And so,
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. Yeah,
absolutely.
and I'm so excited that I am still doing this,
Oh, I think it's
and
incredible.
just
It's
It's wonderful.
it's incredible what you are doing, and look, I'm really excited to have been called in to help you in the capacity that I know I can, and I'm just really excited about that because I really believe in what you've accomplished in your life, and getting this message out to the world. It's really important stuff.
Well, that's great. And you are wonderful, I think, in trying to get this out into the world. I
Yeah,
mean, you can see there's a need for it, and you're really giving a wonderful service in doing that.
yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
do what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes. So let's talk about the time difference.
Yes, so I am so it's basically 12 noon here at the moment. So when we jumped on today, actually this is a really good time. If we're to do this again, 3 p.m. your
Oh,
time is 10 a.m. my time. So this is a really good time. If that was a good time moving forward before April, if we were to do it again, would that be a good time again for you to meet with me at say 3 your time?
yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, if we're, if we're connecting when you're in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is 3 o'clock my time now. Are you the next day?
Yes. So today is Wednesday, the 25th, your
Uh,
Tuesday. So we're 12, I think it's 12 hours or so ahead the next day. So I'm talking to you from the future.
that's right. Well, I
Yes.
remember flew when we
In
flew to
England.
Australia years ago. Um,
Mm.
I think 17 hour
Flight.
flight.
It's a long way, isn't it? It's just a
So
long way.
I was thinking maybe we were 17 hours apart, but we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, I was in the US mid last year. I went to Los Angeles, New York, Hawaii, back to Hawaii. But generally, what I like to do is I'll fly from Sydney to Honolulu, which is 12
Uh-huh.
hours, and then I might do a night or so in Honolulu, and then it's about what 5 hours from Honolulu to LAX, or so that's the way I like to do it, but it's a
Okay.
long
Or
way.
could you fly from Honolulu to San Diego?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. And look, we'll
Yeah.
orchestrate some things, but maybe if we could have maybe if you've got a couple of days um, spare before the conference, it will give us an opportunity to do a few hours here and there of filming together. And then I can film the
Uh-huh.
conference part and maybe some side interviews. And if we could tie all of that together, that would be wonderful. And I can just stay locally, and I'll have my cameraman with me and everything like that. But that would be wonderful if you had some
Right.
time the couple of days before the conference, maybe, or even after, whatever's more suitable for you.
Right. Probably after, I think would
Yeah.
be better
Yeah. Okay. We'll
because
do that. Yeah, we'll
I'll
do
have to
that.
prepare for the conference, prepare for my
Of course.
lecture. I don't
Oh, of course. Yeah, I didn't
remember at
think.
the moment
Of course.
my lectures. Yeah. Okay. And then you look up Neil
I will.
Gower,
Yeah. And then
and
when we share, yeah, yeah.
probably his contact information is on there.
Yes. No,
Um,
don't worry. I'm a good researcher investigator. I'll find that pretty
okay.
easily. I'll find that pretty easily.
Okay.
And what I'll do after this is I'll share with you my sort of cell phone number, and if you do the same, it'll just be an easy flow of communication, so you don't have to check emails, and we can
Oh,
just
oh yeah. Because I don't get to my email usually until well into the evening.
yeah, yeah,
And then,
yeah,
but cell phone, I'm checking
all the time.
every
Yeah,
hour.
all the
Oh, yeah.
time.
So what is your cell number?
Yeah, so the area code, or the country code, so it's +61.
Six
So
one. Okay.
+61, and then it's 448.
Okay.
060
060. Okay.
and then 244.
Okay. So when you say +1, that I just start with the
Oh yeah,
six
so
one
plus 61. So that's the area code for Australia. So you put
country.
that in the country code. Yes, exactly. And then it's just
Right.
the rest of that number. 448 060 244. Yeah. And I think if you have an iPhone, or what cell phone do you have?
Yeah,
Oh, you do.
I do. So
Oh, good. Oh,
so
perfect. So what will happen is, because you have Messenger and I have Messenger, you won't be charged. It'll just be as if we're in the same suburb. There's no charge for that message. Yeah.
oh, that's great. So do you want my cell phone number
Yeah,
now?
yeah. I'll put that down. So you'll be, I think, +1 for the US. I think it'll be. Yep. And what's the number?
Okay, 909
909. Yep.
518
518 3438.
3438.
I'll confirm that. +1 US 909 518 348.
3438.
Oh, 3438. There we go. Okay, gotcha. 518
Yeah.
3438. Okay, great. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time, and I will look
Yeah.
forward to communicating with you again soon.
Okay, and then this interview that we've just done,
Yeah,
where
and I'm going to
where
put,
will
so I'm going to edit it. It'll probably take me a few days to just sort of edit it down, but I'll send you a link to that, because I'm going to put it on YouTube and then all of the other social. So if you want to, I'll send all that to you, and I'll even send you the link to the video that I was talking about before that had 220,000 views already.
uh, that's amazing. Yeah. And I have a new email channel, not that I put on, but I have a
A YouTube.
webmaster.
I did see that. Yeah, a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, which is Barbara Lamb. Well, YouTube, and then Barbara
Yeah,
Lamb, ET
yeah,
Regressions.
yeah. And I'm
Uh,
following that already. Yeah, I'm. Don't worry.
well,
I've looked into
yeah.
everything. And the other thing I will do as well is I will be promoting your. I know you have an audio book for Meet the Hybrids. That's something I'll be promoting, as well as the children's book. And
Oh,
I'll
good.
link that so people can find out where to purchase those. I know they're available online, so I'll give people the links so that they can purchase those books. And I've already linked because you can get it on Audible, the audio book.
Right. Now, what I would prefer,
Mm.
if you don't mind, is mentioning the books which you can get through my website.
Oh, that's better for
Because
you. I'll do that. If it's better for you through your website, I'll direct people to your website to get those. Then, yep.
okay, and that's Barbara Lamb
Regression
Regressions.
dot yeah, regressions.com. Yeah, I've got, yeah.
Right. And there's an order form on there, and they can pay through PayPal. And when
Perfect.
an order comes through, PayPal lets me know,
And then
and
that
then I send
comes
the
right
book out.
through, and that comes right through to
Subscribe,
you. Yeah.
write a little message and sign it too.
Oh,
If you do it
beautiful.
through if you
They
do
don't
it through
get the
Amazon, you don't
signature. Oh, I'll
get
tell
it.
people
No.
that. I'll tell them that. And so you personally sign the books.
Right. And usually a nice little message.
Oh, that's lovely. I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And usually I put their name, like Dear Mary,
Yes.
and then a nice little message, and the signature. I think that's a nice
Yeah,
thing to
I think
do.
that's a really nice touch. That's really beautiful.
Now, the only thing is I do not have the audio edition, the audio book to sell. on my website. I know
Yeah.
Alexis. I could really ask her
Yeah.
if I could.
I wonder if you could do that. I'll have a think about it and see how you could do that, because that would be good if you could offer the audio version as well, you know?
Yes, yes, yeah. Alexis Brooks did that, and she did a nice job.
Yeah, she's got a great voice. I enjoyed listening
Yes,
to
it
the
does.
audio version
Yeah.
with her doing it. Do you
So
have any
really,
plans to have any more books come out?
no, I don't think so. There is a publisher here in California who's been
Yeah,
asking
asking
me to
you.
write another book. She would publish it,
It's a lot of
but
work though.
I just don't feel like it. So what I'm doing instead of that is another young woman who came forward and interviewed me, and then said she wanted to do a series
Great.
of YouTube, podcasts for me interview. And what we're doing, and this is really fun. I'm enjoying it so much. Um, we're taking a different subject from my personal life of
Wow.
different unusual things. Like one of them has been spirit visitations that I've had,
Yeah. Wow.
loved ones visiting me, and I can actually see them,
Wow.
and talk to them. And then another has been the out of body experiences I've had, and
Uh,
another's been extraterrestrial encounters. Another has been remarkable UFO sightings that I've had. One is
Incredible.
on Sasquatch, because I had a Sasquatch experience,
Wow.
and so each one is about an hour long, and about coming right from my life, of these true life experiences in these different categories that I've had. So in fact, we're
Wow.
doing yeah, another one of those tomorrow, and those are um, going to be put, or some of them, maybe one or two might already be.
On
They will
your
be
on
on my
that yeah, okay, so that's where I can find. I'll definitely check those out. Absolutely.
right.
And I'm
They're
happy to
forthcoming.
promote those as well to people so that they know where to go to watch those.
Yeah, good, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I'm
Well,
so
I'll let you
glad
go.
that
It's
we're
so
getting to
lovely to
know each other.
finally connect with you. And I look
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
to the continuation of working together and doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you.
Good. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. And where are you located in Australia?
Yeah, I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Did you visit
Yeah, I went
Melbourne?
there.
You did.
Yes. And we mostly, but they called it Melbourne.
Melbourne. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
We would
some
say
people from the US call it
Melbourne.
Melbourne. So I
I know,
yeah.
Melbourne. That's what we had done until we got there. Oh, no, it's Melbourne.
But I'll
Anyway,
have
we
to tell
stayed.
you about I don't know if you've heard, because I think Linda Moulton Howe covered it, but there's been some really famous UFO cases that have come out of Melbourne, Australia. And she actually
Uh,
documented one of those. So I'll have to chat to you about that sometime as well.
yes. Oh, that's great. When we were there, we stayed with a couple whom we had met on the Rhine River in Germany and
Ah,
got friendly with them. And they kept saying, "Oh, you've got to come visit us in Australia." So that's why we went to Melbourne, because we
oh
were
well, because they were
up in Cannes area, the
yeah,
northeast.
yeah,
And
beautiful, nice and warm.
oh boy,
Mm.
oh
Isn't it? Yeah, it's a beautiful country. It's
oh
beautiful.
yes, it is. I'm very fond of it. Anyway, we went to Melbourne area to stay with this couple out in the bush.
Oh
They had a
wow.
home in the bush. It was out from Melbourne, although they took us one day into Melbourne, where I bought some wonderful Aboriginal paintings in a
Art.
gallery. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
it's beautiful art, isn't it? And as you know,
yes.
their culture is the oldest living culture in the world that has been a continuous culture that hasn't been, you know, taken over or in that respect. So it's
Yeah.
incredible. And if you look at some of their ancient stories of the dream time and the
Yeah.
gods coming, it's very interesting stuff. And Dolores was actually very fascinated in that. She spoke a lot about it
Ah.
in her radio program, The Metaphysical Hour, that she used to produce.
Oh.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. Well, I think it's wonderful. And when we went to Australia, when we were planning the trip, I said to my husband, the one thing that I really want to experience is to have contact with an Aboriginal person.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
I knew that, normally the way that we would go, or anybody from the US, um, you know, we wouldn't be very likely to really meet one and get to talk to one and get to know one. But I had that as my wish. So when we got to the airport at Cairns, um, and my husband was arranging for the rental car, I went over, I saw a little kiosk full of little brochures, little flyers for different tours and different tourist features. And there was a little hand printed hand
Ah.
on a computer, a little note, a very not a nice glossy color one like everyone else, but just a little simple white thing about a walking tour in the Daintree
Forest.
River
Yes,
area
beautiful.
forest on a mountain. And
Mm.
on the back of that, there was a picture of a wonderful Aboriginal woman named Hazel. And I
Ah.
just looked at Hazel and I thought, if we go on this walking tour, I can get to know her. So
Wow, Hazel.
it was a wonderful, oh,
Oh, wow. What a special
heartfelt
experience. How long ago was it?
connection.
Do you remember how many years ago this was?
Oh, let's see. I think it was in the 1990s,
Okay, so
maybe the
yeah,
early late 1990s,
late.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
early
wow.
2000 at the latest. But anyway, so we went to the place where the tour was beginning, which was at the foot of a mountain, the Daintree River area mountain, and got out of the car and walked over, and I introduced myself to Hazel, and we just, oh, just one of those just immediate
Connect.
liking,
Mm.
immediate feeling happy to know each other. And it was very mutual, I'm sure. I
I'm
certainly
sure.
felt that way.
I'm certain it was.
First thing she said to me, she didn't know me at all. She just knew the name of this person who'd, my husband and I, who'd signed up for the trip. And that's all. And that maybe she knew we were from the United States. I don't even know that. But anyway, the first thing she said to me is, "Oh, up there," and she pointed to the top of the mountain. "That's where I saw my first extraterrestrials."
Ah, oh, wow.
I said, "Hazel, I am very, very interested in that. Did you know that?" And she just sort of smiled. And then
Love it.
when she may have nodded too, I don't know. So she must be very tuned in. And then when we were on the walk, and she was pointing out all these bushes and trees and the medicinal leaves and
Yeah.
different nature features. It was very, very interesting in that way too. And then we came to a place where there was a little river coming down the mountain, and we stepped off the trail, And she invited the whole group. There were probably about 15 of us on that walk. And she said, if any of you would like to go, you could, there's a log, you can step out, and some stepping stones. You can step out into the river if you want to. Most people didn't particularly want to, but I did. And because when I'm doing those things, I like to explore everything. And so I stepped out and looked that upstream from me was a big log across the river, had fallen across the river, and then various rocks under the water there,
Yeah.
between the log and me. And I looked at it and I saw, oh my God, there under the log, it looked like a perfect classic alien head with
Ah.
the head, the big head on top, narrow down towards the chin, and the big eyes and no real nose and mouth.
Mm, mm.
And I looked at that and I kept looking at it. That's exactly what that looks like. And then I went back off the river onto the trail again, said, Hazel, there's something really interesting out there. I think it's an alien head. And she smiled and she nodded and she hugged me. And yes, good for you. You saw it. I
Ah,
wanted you to see.
wow. I love that.
So I don't know if it was a real head from a real extraterrestrial that was in the river. It would have been a decapitated head
Yeah.
because it was,
Look, I would not be surprised. They have a very ancient history with what they call the star people. And the star people had always come down from the heavens to teach them, how to, because in Australia, there's this thing, right, where a native Australian Aboriginal person can go into the harshest of conditions, and they say they can navigate anywhere because they're connected to the people, the ancestors or the star people.
Mhm.
Um, and no one can really do that, even with modern equipment, to be able to navigate in the way they have, intuition. That they see themselves as being one with the land, that they're
Oh, yes.
synonymous with each other. And I think that they're very open to all of this stuff. It was only when, the British came and came over that culture began to be eroded. And it was sad what had happened, is
Yeah.
similar to other places in the world. But we're starting to recognize
Yeah.
the great heritage now, and some of the
Good.
stories. So it's a very
Oh,
exciting
good.
time.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're totally precious,
Ah,
precious people,
abs-
understanding of life and the land and nature and spirit and oh yeah,
yeah, they're
dream
very
time.
spiritual. It's fascinating stuff. I know, as I said, Dolores was fascinated as well. So I'm not surprised that that you've been here and that you've had that beautiful experience. So
Oh yeah,
how
that was
wonderful.
so. And then Hazel was offering another day, uh, not on the mountain, but another walk on the flat land. And and I said to my husband, I'd really like to go on this. He liked country walks, so that was okay with him. Um, he wouldn't have initiated that, I think, but he was okay with doing that. And just so that we could be with Hazel again.
Yeah,
That was
nice.
so wonderful. Then another day we went out on a little motorboat, little open boat on the Daintree River. There was a man sort of leading a tour, small tours with just my husband and me and another lady from England. And we went all around and he would stop here and there and show various different plants and what they were used for and different types of ants that were feeding on the planet, the different nature things. And I was very interested in crocodiles.
Yeah,
And
or
so,
alligator. Well, they're slightly different to the alligator, but yeah, the crocodiles, because there's a lot of them up
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. So that's why I wanted to do that. The boat ride, it was to see the alligators along the shore. And we did see quite a number of them sunning themselves on the
Yes,
banks, the
yes.
Daintree
And they
River.
can be
Yeah.
very still, sometimes with their mouth wide open and be very still so that prey, don't see them, and they'll be very quick to snap some lunch.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Very skilled at that. So
Mm.
anyway, we were out there in the boat and it was just so beautiful there, so open and beautiful, sunny day and blue sky. And my husband was never interested in UFOs or extraterrestrials, but
Mhm.
he always was respectful of me being
Yes.
interested in.
Yeah.
He,
Well,
he
and
just
don't,
didn't want. But,
yeah.
but so anyway, I was thinking this would be great. Oh, a wonderful, wonderful place to see UFOs. So after a while, I just sort of crawled up toward the man who was piloting the boat on the out, which is an outboard motor, like a rowboat with an outboard motor. And I said, do you ever see anything unusual here in the sky? I asked, are you out here on the river every day? He said, yes, every day of the year. I said, night and day. He led night tours too, which we went on as well another day. But
Wow.
I said, do you ever see anything unusual flying around in the sky? And he said, yes, I do.
Wow.
And we call them UFOs. And I said,
Huh?
great, I am very interested in that. And
Yes.
so he told me about a number of different sightings. We didn't see a sighting that day, but it was exciting to talk to him that he did.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's a
my
lot that
husband.
happens. There's a lot that, as far as UFOs, actually, a guy that I had speaking here in Australia recently, who, I don't know if you know him, his name's Blair Styra, and he was a good friend of Dolores Cannon, and she published two of his books with her publishing company, but he
Oh,
channels an entity called Tabash. And he was here about 3 weeks ago in Melbourne, and I was putting him on here to speak in Melbourne, and he took a photo in the CBD, and there was three UFOs, very, very clear,
woo.
one on top of each other. And I'm like, oh wow. So he saw them from his hotel room.
Huh. Oh, oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's
So
lovely
I
that,
I know that there's been a lot of activity down there, and
oh yes.
some of the at the beginning of the crop circle phenomenon, um, or my beginning awareness of it, which was in 1990, I became aware of it. Um, there had already been reports and photos of circular depressions in the grasses and maybe the crops in Australia, and that those were determined by some people to be UFO landing spots
Yeah.
rather than crop circles.
Right.
So
And the
I
depression that's left from obviously the technology that is used, the compulsion or whatever that you call it. Yeah,
right.
I've heard that too. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's gone on here. Fascinating stuff, fascinating. And I will have to cover some of this next time we speak. With so much we could speak for hours and hours and hours about
I
this
know.
stuff because it's fascinating stuff.